Welcome to our knitting space. If you're a new listener, hey, come on in, settle down, grab a cup of tea, and enjoy the conversation. If you're a returning listener, thanks. We're so glad you guys were able to make it back in. This week, Diana, what are we going to cover?
We are going to cover what's in our cup, cool threads, woolly workings, yarn on the go, fibre flubs, events, and a book review.
There's only one downside to these little baby cokes. They disappear really fast. They're broken.
I know.
Very quickly. Oh, man. Well, Diana, what's in your cup?
We are both apparently drinking my Coca-Cola Life that I decided to buy today on a whim, and it's pretty tasty. It's...
Match the green theme of everything else you bought today.
Yeah, well, I was buying the lactose-free yogurt, which is green, and the ginger ale, which is green, yeah. So I'm like, well, green I kind of want some Coke. I was thinking about vanilla Coke, but then I'm like, oh, let's get the green Coke.
I'm liking it. But yeah, no, this can's going to get broken real quick. I'm also drinking an assortment of beverages because we've discovered I like hydration.
Oh man, all your stuff has green on it too.
All of my stuff has green on it too.
Was that on purpose?
No, it wasn't. I just realized that now.
So, cool threads. Have you been wearing any threads that are cool or hot or otherwise?
No, it's been too warm for me, but I'm enjoying smelling dinner, which is cooking in the kitchen.
I have been up in the cool mornings, so the last couple of days it's been cool and rainy, so I was wearing my rainbow side shawl to work. I got a job. What? No longer am I knitting socks in interviews. I'm wearing my rainbow side shawl to work.
Well, I guess it could be worse. I knit. I am up in the mornings. I'm outside in the mornings, but I don't find it that cool once I put a coat on if I'm walking somewhere or doing something. So I found for the most part, for me, the cool thread season is over until we start to cool off in the fall again. Unless I magically decide I want to wear some of the cotton stuff I'm working on.
I wore the shawl for all of like the 20 minutes it took to get to work.
That's
and
fun.
Yeah, that was the end of it. But it was really nice to have this morning. It was just cool and damp.
Shall we do some woolly workings?
Woolly workings. What have you been working on?
Everything. No. Feels like it. I have been in a mad rush to not only complete the first textured triangle shawl, the knit along we're doing with Marley Bird and Red Heart, which I have here. It's done!
It's done! It's so pretty!
And you may remember from last week where I said it was done last week, because it was done last week. I even had it off the needles, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a trim for it. So I did mine out of the white in the Soft Essentials Red Heart yarn, as it was a Red Heart yarn knit along, and I do like Red Heart yarns. I'm using the soft Red Heart line for my Granny Square project this year. But I decided it was a very big white shawl that needed something. So I grabbed some loops and threads, forest green that I had left over from the diagonal rib shawl I did earlier this year, because I had an extra 2 skeins of it. And I did a simple crocheted, what do I want to call this?
Scalp.
Thank you. Scalloped edge detail all the way around, which is just, it's made the shawl. Like, it looks amazing with this edge trimming on it. It gives
really does.
The white a nice border. I still have not washed and blocked it, but Diana has not worn it on her head. So clearly, it's good to go.
Yep, it's finished.
We're done.
The knitting's finished and the ends are woven in, therefore I can put it on my head and it's done.
And because I did the crochet work after Stash Dash, I get to count it for Stash Dash. And I didn't think I was going to because I'd had it off the needles before Stash Dash started. So look at me unintentionally doing things. For fun, I decided, hey, I can do a shawl in a week. And we recorded on Wednesday last week.
Mm-hmm.
So Thursday, I actually started another textured triangle knit-along shawl. Because I could. Why not? I had seen a lot of people, and again, I think I was working on this while we were recording last week.
Sounds right.
Yeah. A lot of people had decided to not do with Red Heart yarns. I didn't feel obligated to stick with Red Heart on the second one. So I grabbed from my stash. Look at me not buying yarn to complete a project. For fun, I purchased a carry-on cake in, bumbleberry purple. For no particular reason other than I really like variegated yarns and I really like purple. So I'm on to section 4. I'll discuss why section 4 isn't as far along as I'd like it to be later. But otherwise, it's come together nicely, and with the self-variegation in the yarns, like the sort of self-striping it does, it looks amazing. I'm super excited to get this off my needles as well, probably the next day or so. And the same sort of idea. I think I'm going to give it a trim, maybe. And to see how it looks without the trim. If it looks good on its own, I won't do a trim, but if it needs something, I'll do the same thing I did with the white one and give it a little border trim. Something different. Somehow I managed to make two projects one project. What are you working on, Diana?
I will also talk about my textured triangle shawl. There is no way in heck that it's getting done for what, like midnight tonight?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm almost halfway through section 3.
Okay.
It's not happening before midnight tonight. It's not happening, especially because there was a flub. It flubbed.
Oh.
I flubbed. Something flubbed. I'll talk about that part later. But I'm doing my textured triangle shawl out of Red Heart Soft Classic. So it's a slightly lighter weight of yarn, so I'm getting a slightly smaller shawl. And I'm doing it out of 2 colors, dark leaf for the stockinette and wheat for the lace and garter bits.
That's not too bad, though.
Yeah.
It'll look good when it's finished. The only trick is to not take too long to finish it.
I know.
It's a thing. Man, if you ever want to run a knit along, we're gonna have to get somewhat better or just give up the ghost and never have a deadline on these things. One of the two is gonna happen for us. I don't know how many other projects you've been working on. I have my usual smattering of odds and ends, because I have so much stuff on the go. I work on a little bit all over the place.
3 more things.
Oh, well then I will go again. I have obviously been working on my 365 projects, because I am never going to play catch up again. Done. It's not happening. That was not enjoyable. I didn't like having to do more than one granny square a day. So I am on one granny square a day. I can't even tell you what day I'm on now. We're into the 3 digits. I don't know. I watched the next YouTube video in the progression. I'm doing all of the ones Yarn Utopia did right now. She's a great YouTuber. She's some great crochet tutorials. I find if I don't like the pattern, I'll go find something else. But if I like the pattern of square that they've done, I'll do her square pattern. And I enjoy her tutorials, so it works for me. I have a lot of granny squares. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with all of them.
Blankets.
Well, for sure the 3D textured ones I'm going to give to my great aunt Geraldine, who has no vision, so the textured, like the flower ones and the ones that pop up and have very obvious raised edges, she'll be able to feel the texture for. And she won't care what color it is, because she can't see. She wouldn't care anyway. She's wonderful. She has been a wonderful hippie in my life, my whole life. She's absolutely delightful. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the rest. It'll be interesting to see what I cobble together. People might actually just randomly have patchwork of totes up for sale on my Etsy shop, because I won't know what else to do with them.
Because why the heck not?
People enjoy it. I enjoy seeing those too, so I'm gonna make one for myself, obviously. But I'll have 365 of them, so I'll have some to play around with.
Yep.
Plus, if I like one, I can always make more of the one I like.
Also true.
So this is not a problem for me. You said you had 3. Oh my gosh, I feel like maybe my life is knitting.
Maybe it is.
It's entirely possible. As always, I did exactly 2 rows on the Boneyard shawl, so here is the Boneyard shawl. It is a free pattern by Stephen West. A lot of his other patterns have recently entered my queue and wishlist piles, because I now need to do all of his work, because I love his choices in colors. I love the freedom in his patterns. So I'm like, nope, I need to pretty much own everything you've ever created too, sir. I'm doing mine in a... What am I doing mine in? In a Bernay Premium. It's called Teal. I think we've decided it's like a Caribbean blue, not really a teal.
Not teal at all, in my opinion.
Not teal at all. Because I'm doing it on 4.5mm needles, it is a very slow working shawl, because it is quite a tight knit. Which is totally fine, since I am going to be wearing it in the winter. I don't want a big, loose fall knit or a nice lightweight summer knit. I want a nice dense winter knit, so that you're not letting a lot of the air in, for the keeping warm purposes of living in a place where it is -40 with a wind chill sometimes.
Many of the times.
Celsius. -40 Celsius.
Well, -40 is -40. It's the point where the
That's
scales
true.
cross.
That is true. It's the point where the scales cross. I mean, not often. We don't normally get that cold here. Not for any length of time anyway, but we can get that cold, so that's sort of what I'm prepping for. What else have you been working on, Diana?
I'm gonna do this one next because I'm really excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
I finished the first part of my Even Star shawl, which is my wedding shawl.
Right. You were doing it here at Knit Club.
Yeah, and I finished the last row too, so I'm actually done the first section.
That's so exciting.
So I just need to throw in a lifeline before I start the next chart.
Oh, that is so cool.
So this is the Even Star shawl by Susan Pandorf. And I'm doing it out of Forever Yarns 100% lamb's wool, and it's just undyed, so it's just a natural white,
Wool
slightly
color.
cream wool color.
It was very exciting to see it come together and start to essentially be created off your needles. It looked really good, so.
I'm loving the texture of the fabric, and it's just like light and poofy, and it makes me really happy. I've been really sad that I haven't had time to sit down and actually start working on the chart, because I've been really wanting to, and then things keep happening, and I have to keep not doing it.
It's the nature of things.
Apparently.
If anybody who listens to us is a long-time listener or a long-time knitter, I'm working on a cable project right now. So you'll occasionally hear it as though I have a needle in my mouth. Oh, I do. It's my cabling needle. Which
Don't
is a good
swallow
way
it.
to... Oh, that would be bad. It's a good way... Oh, man. Real life fiber flub going on right now.
Oh no.
That's my life. Because I'm doing an active row and I need to do a non-active row first. Whatever, it's fine. I am currently working on my winter honey shawl, which you can hear me ripping out right now on air. I need to start again. Dig nabbit.
Oh, you're actually finally starting this thing.
I have started working on it, though. This is like my 4th or 5th attempt at it, so it's...
Still not a boneyard shawl.
Still not a boneyard shawl by any stretch of the imagination, because that was, 14 times I started that shawl?
Oh my goodness.
Before I realized it needed to be a yarn over, not a make one increase. This one's taking fine to the make one increases, so it's not really mad at me for that, but I occasionally forget what I'm doing, which causes problems. So that's okay. The Winter Honey Shawl is by, oh my word, I've gone and forgotten the person's name. What kind of human being am I? I love her work.
You're gonna say it and I'm gonna go, oh yeah, that person.
I know. Do 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 do. Andrea Mallory. Andrea Mallory.
Right.
I didn't know of her, and I was listening to the Actually Knitting podcast, and she was doing a Mallory Madness month. So I went and I looked at her shawls, and this woman has the most amazing, ginormous, fluffy-looking shawls. I think I added all of them to my queue. My queue is huge, by the way. If
Is it
listeners
like
are wondering.
400 now?
Oh, we're over 400.
Oh wow, it was under 400 last time I checked out your queue.
Nope, not anymore.
She also the Find Your Fade?
I believe that is... That could be her, or is that... I'm going to go look, because now I want to know. Look at me go. But that is the Winter Honey one, which I actually just ripped out. I was about 4 rows in, and we're going to try again.
Take 2.
Take 3. I don't know. What take am I on? Take 4. What else? I've got 2 more projects. How many more do you have?
I also have 2 more things.
Well, what have you been working on?
I worked a little more on my Belle Rose shawl, which is the first installment of the Strict Make 2017 club, which is Martina Bame's yarn club, where you get an exclusive for 6 months shawl pattern by Martina Bame, accompanied by some... I can't talk and knit at the same time, apparently. Accompanied by some lovely indie dyed yarn from a local dyer to her, which means it's from Germany, which sounds very exotic. I have some indie yarn from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So that package included the Sheep en Soie in Remembering Rose, which was a merino silk blend, single ply. And it produced just a slight variegation in the colors, so it's not just like a solid block of color. And it's this very pretty rosy pink color, which I don't actually like the color all that much. I can objectively see that it's a very beautiful color, but I will never wear this color. Therefore, it is Jocelyn's Christmas present.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so I think I only did like 1.5 rows. But I worked on it.
It counts.
It counts.
So, I have 2 more projects left. Oh,
Go for it.
woohoo! The Stormy Nights shawl, which is a pattern that you can find on the blog Life is Cozy, which I'm doing out of the Really Seriously Annoyed Crepes colorway from Ancient Art Yarns, which really freaking love the title of that yarn. I am, by the way, ogling all of the yarn they put out on Instagram, and I'm just like, I should just start sending them installments of my money and just get yarn at some point. They're so pretty.
I know. And Canadian.
And Canadian, which is huge. Like, oh, I don't have to pay international shipping. Yay! Don't get me wrong. I'm paying international shipping for some very nice indie German yarn, but if I don't have to, even better. I have one more thing that I've been working on, which I can't super discuss in detail because it's the Starting Point Mystery Knit-Along!
Woo!
Which I am so far behind on, it's not even funny!
It's a little bit funny.
Whether or not I'll make it, I don't know. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and if I haul keister and get the texture triangle off the needles, I can sort of super focus, and they're different size needles, so it's like I could just drop the texture triangle, but I'm so close to finishing. I don't want to do that. So I picked up the colors, which I posted on Instagram for the podcast page. And I do have on my Ravelry page in the group project photo. I'm not going to upload any other photos till the knit-along's done. Because it's a mystery knit-along. We shouldn't be revealing. But I chose 4 skeins of Prima cotton in shades of ivory white through down to a dark blue. So a light blue, a medium blue, and a dark blue, which super match in tone to the Great Blue Heron colorway, which I got, again, from Ancient Arts Yarn. Can you tell I like those guys? So they're all wound, and I have begun Clue the 1st. Clue the 4th went live on Friday. It's a 1,500 meter shawl.
So how's that going for you?
Oh my god, I got so much knitting to do.
So joining knit-alongs late.
I'm gonna say okay so long as it's under 1,000 meters. Over 1,000 meters and you've pretty much shot yourself in the foot. But I don't care because I'm not even gonna look at the pictures after it's posted. Like if I'm not done before the knit-along's finished, because I really want to finish it in the dark. But that's a decision you can make in and of yourself. And I really sort of wanted to participate, even if it was only tangentially. Is that the right word? Sure, we'll say that's the right word. And sort of enjoy the aspect of doing a mystery knit-along, which I've never done before. And it's by Jody Hohe-Hotelli? Lotelli? Jody. Get a hold of us. Tell me how to pronounce your last name. I take absolutely no offense. Please correct me. Please correct me. I have no idea how I'm doing that.
I will link to her Ravelry designer page in the show notes. She
does amazing work. It's so nice. Oh, Diana, what is your last project?
I am currently, as we are podcasting, working on my dad's safety socks.
Safety socks.
Which are just toe-up vanilla socks with the fish lips kiss heel.
Oh.
Which I'm super liking.
Well, not with the fish lips kiss heel. I'm going to do it with a short... I'm going to do toe-up vanilla with a short German short row heel.
Sounds like a plan. Mm-hmm. My socks are out of Online Super Sock, that ends in an E. 4-Fach, which I think means 4-ply, in forest color. It is a brown self-striping that makes it look like I'm doing all sorts of complicated color work and stripes, and I'm not. It's just a vanilla sock, and I really like it.
Why not? Nothing wrong with liking a really good sock pattern.
So I'm hoping to get these finished this week so that I can give them to my dad on the weekend because he gets to go for a hospital visit on Friday.
God, all your family with the hospital
visits.
Yeah, I know.
But
he's okay. It's just
okay.
It's just something to take care of something for him.
Routine stuff. You'd rather not have to do, but you gotta. So
it's right along the same lines as what my surgery was. It was just we needed to deal with something, and that was just... Oh, if listeners want to know what it is that I went for surgery for, we'll do a thread on Ravelry for questions and stuff, and if people are interested, I'll certainly tell my story there.
We are up to Yarn on the Go.
Yarn on the Go.
Plus some attempted spinning, which I'm going to lump in here.
Sure, why not?
I brought my spinning wheel to Knit Club, and I attempted to show off how it worked.
Hey, we got that up to a 4.5 out of 5. We almost had that little electric wheel EL5 running at full tilt, and it was scary fast.
It was so scary fast at 4.5. I do not want to turn it up to 5.
Oh,
It might just fly away.
it's possible it could do that.
But yeah, I was trying to spin, and it was just, I don't know, my hands and the wheel and the fiber were just, nothing was having it. So no spinning actually occurred, but I did try.
Now, Reds said that she had Miss D come over and do a private tutoring session. Feeling kind of jealous. I feel like I need to buy my drop spindle and go,
Yeah.
can you come teach me to spin? Because you taught Red to spin, and I'm feeling super left out now. My urn goes to your house.
Yes, it does.
A lot! Pretty sure your fiance's used to seeing me 2 or 3 times a week now.
I think so.
Now, normally I try to bring my boyfriend along, his brother. They get along fantastically well. So I'm sort of like, I'm sorry I'm invading your personal space. Here's your best friend! Distract and run and hide. We were only supposed to stop by on Sunday for literally to drop off the book you wanted to review for Tuesday and have a cup of tea and go. That was it. We were supposed to leave, get groceries on the way home, and the two of us had a lot of stuff we needed to get done before Monday. Like, I'm already well behind on my week because I didn't get my Sunday work done. And somehow we ended up playing 3 rounds of Mechs versus Minions.
Yeah.
Yeah, we showed up at like 1:30, we left at 9. So that was a short visit.
Yeah.
So I always have my knitting on me, just because I know when I say short, I meant like 10-15 minutes. By having Mr. B there, I knew it was going to be an hour and a half. I did not expect 9 hours. A little bit longer than I'd initially anticipated.
Games happened.
Games happened, knitting happened, visiting happened. All 4 of us got along really well, so it's not like I don't think it was a huge hardship on anybody.
I know. Oh, it was so difficult.
We had to play games,
tea and playing games and eating burgers.
it
Oh, it
was
was
harsh.
harsh.
I
Horrible
am
Sunday.
the worst guest ever. I like to eat food and have good times. I don't know why anybody likes me over. Yeah, no, that's my yarn on the go. It's usually to your place right now.
I have a second going,
Oh, you do?
in that some yarn came to me.
Oh, that's right. Some yarn did come to you. I remember fondling it.
I got my second Strict Club package, which I like this one a lot more than the first one because it's purple. It's purple and blue and green, but in all the like really good shades of purple and blue and green that I like.
It's so freaking beautiful.
So it's another single ply fingering weight yarn. There's 2 skeins this time. There's a full skein and a mini skein. And it's 100% wool. Still very soft, not quite as soft as the silk.
But it's the merino superwash, so I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's still really
It's still
freaking
very,
soft.
very soft.
As I sit here working on a toothy
Mm-hmm.
little regal
Yep.
country rose yarn.
So the main yarn is a bluish gray with green bits and purple bits, and I think maybe some pink bits.
You want to say it's speckled?
Sure, we'll go with speckled.
It's like it's a cross between speckled and variegated. Like, it's not really one or the other.
It's not quite
So it might be some variegated with speckle.
hand painted.
Sure, hand painted.
We'll go with that. And then the mini skein is the same base, but it's just a solid purple color, but it's a super vibrant purple. And so you stripe these 2 things together to make this shawl. I think the name of the pattern was Plum Leaf.
The name of the pattern was Hey, Jocelyn Wants That.
Yeah, so Jocelyn was fondling my yarn, and I may have happened to mention that I got an email from the club saying we have a few skeins of this club yarn left, available only to club members. And so Jocelyn looked at me with big puppy eyes and went, "Please!"
Oh my god, could I have some of the yarn?
So a few minutes later, there was some German indie yarn on a plane over here.
Now, to be fair, I will buy the pattern when it becomes available to the public in 6 months. Because I feel that's only right. I'm paying you for the yarn, and I'll be using the pattern, but I'm going to buy the pattern when it comes out and it's available to the public because I'm not a member of the club. So, like, I will own the pattern. Like, I'm not okay with it otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm certainly paying you back for the yarn, so that's
Thank you.
fine. I'm certainly going to do that. This is not a problem for me. But my mind just goes, nope. I wouldn't want to, because it's not guaranteed that the yarn will be in public, whereas I know for sure the pattern's going to be made public.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm okay sneaking and cheating that way. Does that make me a bad person?
I think you're probably fine.
God, I hope so, because I'm really excited about that yarn.
To...
Events.
Fiber flubs.
Fiber flubs, that's right, because, sometimes knitting goes sideways.
So, I have a fiber flub. So I'm knitting... Take 2. Fiber flubs. So I'm knitting away on my textured triangle shawl, and I'm getting to the end of the row, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not entirely sure I did an increase at the beginning of the row, because I'm watching stuff while I'm doing it. Nah, I probably did an increase at the beginning of the row, I'm just second-guessing myself. So I go onto the purl row, and I purl back, and so when I finish the purl row, I take a good look at it. Well, poo, I definitely did miss that increase.
It happens to me all the time.
So, I mean, I guess I just unknit a couple of stitches, drop down, force an increase, and pick it back up and knit the last 2 stitches?
Yeah.
Does that sound like a reasonable fix?
I think so. My first fiber flub was at your place. On Sunday, when we weren't supposed to be staying there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I decided it'd be wise to knit a lace section without a lifeline.
So what was I doing later that evening? Putting in a
lifeline for me after fixing my lace?
Putting in an after-the-fact lifeline?
Crud.
Uh-huh.
Everybody say it with me. Jocelyn, you know better.
On the plus side, I know I can put in lifelines on knit 2 together yarn over rows.
Yes, you can. Really well. I really need to, super especially with fingering weight yarn, which I struggle to see, I need to put that lifeline in. And I knew better. I should have just asked if you had some scrap. You use unwaxed dental floss or
Yep.
like yarn I could use. That would work, and I didn't, and I know better. It is entirely my fault. So thank you for the rescue. You were perfectly within your rights to start demanding baking as payment for this. You rescue me a lot. My other one actually just happened earlier on the podcast. Nope, the second one happened with the purple bumbleberry textured triangle shawl from the Red Heart pattern. I was watching TV late last night. I was living up my 90s high school years and rewatching Roswell on Netflix. Please feel free to judge me.
I don't know what that show is because I was a small child in the 90s.
And again, when we had our supper break, I like cheesy teen drama stuff. It amuses me greatly, and I am the right age for Roswell, Gilmore Girls, and Dawson's Creek.
I was almost the right age for Dawson's Creek, but I just missed that one.
Yeah. So, Roswell is the teen drama where the aliens are real and they're 3 high school students. And it's all about those adventures in Roswell, New Mexico. Feel free to find it on Netflix and enjoy a part of my teenage years. All the melodrama of the 90s, including the fashions.
Excellent.
Don't miss those at all.
The giant shoes and the chokers and the neon
Crop
windbreakers.
tops!
Oh, crop tops. I forgot crop tops.
And the lace chokers. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I had some of those. I had a rainbow one.
Woo, man, you were hip and happening.
I know, right? There was a whole set. There was a bracelet and a ring, too.
Yup. Oh, I remember snap bracelets.
I never understood those.
I didn't either, but I owned a few. So I knit while I watched that, because I really don't have to pay attention to that TV show. So I just watched my knitting, and I obviously wasn't focusing enough and getting too into the drama of the romance of the main characters, and I accidentally screwed up my rotation, so I pretty much have to rip back to the start of section 4 and do it again. Oh yeah, so excited. Not excited at all.
Good job.
So I'm going to practice putting in a lifeline on by myself, because this is quite large chunky yarn and it's done on a US 11 needle, so the bumps are quite big, so I should be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to practice putting in a lifeline for that and ripping back and finishing the longest part of the shawl again tomorrow. I'm not doing it tonight. I'm going to, because tomorrow I got to wash and block and get that pictures posted. Do I do the pictures posted tonight for the knit along stuff?
I think so. I think it closes at some time tonight.
Then I'm taking the photos tonight, and then I will wash and block the triangle tomorrow.
Probably your best bet.
That's my best bet. And then I should finish the texture triangle shawl later. And then the one that I did earlier today where I screwed up my winter honey shawl, and I'm now currently recasting it because I had to rip back 4 rows. My fault. I did it to myself. Nobody else to blame. Events! We got super off topic, didn't we?
Let's start with the thing that is finishing today.
The knit along finishes today.
This is the texture triangle shawl knit along put on by Red Heart with Marley Bird.
It's a primarily Facebook group, and there have been some amazing shawls created. I've been stalking the Facebook page.
You've been far more active in this knit along than I have. I apologize.
Well, you know.
I think what this knit along has taught me is that I don't knit along very well. I'm not a team player.
It's eye-opener for me at sort of the level of social media interaction that you can have. I've always done them on my own and sort of enjoyed the process, but this is the first time where I've tried to be active, and I'm really enjoying that community sense that you get from it. The super interesting part of participating in more of the community events is you get more of the background stories. Some of these women have crocheted for like decades and never knit. And I know there's one other lady who's blind and participating in the knit along, and I'm visually impaired in doing it. Or you get people who are like, this is my first knitting project. And you get some people who've knitted for a very long, like many, many more years than I have. And we all enjoy it on a different level and for different reasons. And it's definitely an easy knit along. Like you can do it with no experience whatsoever, which I find incredibly opening and sort of invites people into the knitting community. Because you'll see some of the knit alongs and they require advanced level or intermediate advanced level techniques, and you're like, God, that's great, that's awesome. But as a new knitter, that seems really intimidating and not quite as easy access as it would be. That's not the wordage I want, but that's the word I'm coming up with. So we're going to go with it and move on. I'm excited it's over, because that was a lot of Facebooking for me in 4 weeks. I do post on Facebook. It's usually because I'm posting on Instagram and I just say share on Facebook.
Yeah, so the next event, Stash Dash, started on Friday.
Woohoo! And technically my first shawl counts, and I didn't even think that was going to happen.
I have finished nothing, but I will finish socks this week.
And nobody can see my face, but my arms are raised above my head, and I'm so excited!
Oh, I have a thing to say about Stash Dash.
Oh, yes, please.
I've modified my goal from 3K to simply finishing everything that's on my needles right now, with the exception of my wedding shawl, because that's not going to happen.
What's a big shawl?
Yeah.
No, are you going to put the second stricknick? Am I even getting close with that?
I think it's close.
I am so not German.
I'm just going to say Strickmick because it's close enough.
Sure. You're going to count the second project for the Strickmick Club? I'm going to get lectured from Mr. B and Chris on how to pronounce that.
It's not on my needles. The yarn isn't even wound, so it doesn't count.
Nice distinction.
Speaking of distinction, the distinction shawl is also not going to count because it's not on needles.
Are those sort of your stretch goals? We'll pretend it's a Kickstarter campaign.
Stretch goals.
Stretch goals?
Yeah, those will be stretch goals. So I have, let's see, I have my socks I'm going to finish this week. And I have a scarf thing sitting on my desk that I'm not sure if I'm going to finish or frog. I will count either of those as a success.
Yep.
I have the Celtic Myths shawl also sitting on my desk that needs a border. I have the texture triangle shawl that will be done next week, maybe?
Okay.
And I have the Bell Rose, which is going to take a while. And I think I have a couple of crochet projects languishing in a drawer that I need to dig out and either finish or frog.
Okay. That's not bad. And I mean, for you it makes sense to make the goal something that works for you, because that's the whole point of Stash Dash, is just
Yeah.
to...
So I'm not going to count meters or anything because
No.
I have no idea. I don't have a scale. I don't really want to count meters because that's just a pain.
I normally count in, not meters, yards, but I can transfer yards to meters because math. It's not that hard. I'm not sure. I've been saying 5K. And I've been looking at the stuff that I have on my needles now, plus the stuff I'm going to be starting this summer, and I'm thinking I might blow 5K out of the water.
You might.
I might. So I'm going to hold off on putting my name in under the thread with the right volume level, just because I know once you're there, you're there. That's your spot. And see where I sit probably the 1st of July, first week or so of July. And if I'm already over halfway or over 5K at that point, then I'm going to up to 7. Or if I'm at the point where I'm like, yeah, but if I finish what I've got, I'll be in and around that 5K mark, or I'll go into the 5K, and then I'll post the pictures and stuff, because obviously pics or it didn't happen. And it is a wonderful, wonderful community program thing to just sort of help everybody keep up and do their projects and get stuff done, because it feels really nice to wear the stuff you've been working on.
It really does.
It is, but I mean, counting off on my fingers, I have 8 projects on the needles right now. I have another 3 I have to start this month, plus 3 additional ones I want to get started. Knit in Public Day!
Knit in Public Day!
I actually plan to be out knitting in public all day. I'm going to have a wallet of money. I'm going to start with coffee shops. I'm probably going to go to the vintage market and knit outside for a while. And then I'm going to knit for lunch, and then I'm going to knit somewhere else in the afternoon, and then I'm going to knit somewhere else for supper, and I'm coming home in the evening. Like, I'm going to knit all day in public places.
This will be fun.
I think it'll be great, and it'll be a lot of time just spent wandering around knitting. I might just try to walk and knit at the same time and have somebody take a photo, because that'll go badly.
With your cane just kind of under your arm?
Yep.
That'll be great.
Do you ever hear me when I say I'm living life on the edge? We'll be walking somewhere, I'll be like, oh, living dangerously. It's because I am no longer using my mobility cane to tell me what things are going on. I've picked it up because I need my other hand to do something and I don't want to stop. That's when I stub my toe, fall off a curb, walk into a building, take out a floor wet sign. Life is a dangerous action film for me.
I do want this picture now, though. Now that you've said it.
If I'm seriously going to attempt it, you're going to have to be with me so you can take a photo, because it's pics or it didn't happen, right? Like that's the thing.
Also call out so you don't actually do anything.
Stop! What? Stop moving! What am I doing? And like look down, there's a fire hydrant about to take me out. Like, oh man. I like living dangerously. What do you want me to tell you? But no, I'm excited for Knit in Public Day. I think we're gonna, hopefully the local yarn stores are doing something, but if not, let's go to the artisan donut shops and compare artisanal donuts and, knit and enjoy ourselves. And I know Red works in the evening, so if she gets up before she has to go for her night shift, and, get together with her, maybe see her house.
And
knit in her backyard for a bit before she goes to work. I'm fairly mobile in the summer, so getting around's not that big of a deal. I just need to have a timeline. Definitely some knitting on the bus, since I bus everywhere. So there's that. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, so that's actually only a couple weeks away.
I know. It's not that far from now.
You were doing another knit-along that is only you. I did not join in this one.
Because you're not quite my brand of crazy.
No.
I'm not going to needles.
No, I'm my own brand of crazy.
I am doing the Jody Hohe Cotelli? Jody, I'm so sorry.
I'll link it in the show notes.
I am doing the Starting Point Mystery Knit-Along. The Clue of the 4th came out this past Friday. I'm working on Clue the 1st. Cred muffin.
And the last clue comes out when?
This coming Friday.
And you have until when to finish it?
I think the week after. Yeah, because week 5 we'll be wrapping it up and finishing it and putting it together, so.
So you're gonna knit an entire large fingering weight shawl in a week and a half?
Yes.
I will buy you a very fancy coffee if you can actually do that.
Oh, it sounds like a challenge.
Let's see. Next, chronologically, is Icon, which is not knitting related, but we will both be attending the local anime convention, July 21st to 23rd at the RBC Convention Center, question mark?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a lot of words to spit out in one breath. It is a big city event, especially if you're an anime fan. I happen to be an anime fan.
I'm a newbie anime fan.
Which is fine. I
Question
started off as a new. I had no idea what it was the first year I went. The only thing I understood about anime was I had watched a Sailor Moon when I was little.
Okay. I'm got slightly more than that.
And then one of my friends, Mr. Shade, Anna Kruger, invited me to go. And they both sit on the council now. And I went. And it was wonderful. It was this delightful world and community of stuff I'd never experienced before, and I've just sort of been headlonging into it ever since then.
On July 23rd, I'm getting on a plane to go to B-Sides and DEF CON in Las Vegas for 10 days, where it's the same thing except centered around computer security.
So when you come home, you'll be sleeping?
I'm gonna sleep for a month.
Pace yourself. You'll be with me for Icon, and I am a fan of proper amounts of sleep and footage.
Okay. I'll
So there
probably
will
be alright then.
You'll be fine, because I'll be like, I
and
know
I can
we
sleep
could
on the
stay,
plane, and it doesn't...
but we won't.
B-Sides doesn't actually start until... So it doesn't start on the 23rd, on the 20th. It starts on the 25th, so I have
Okay.
a day in Vegas.
Oh, that's not too bad.
So I can have, like, at least 1 or 2 nights of normal sleep.
Sleeping, yeah.
And
So-
B-Sides isn't the really crazy one. DEF CON is the crazy one.
DEF CON is a crazy one? Okay, so that's not too bad. So you've got a little bit of a bracer for it, and we'll work you up to it. We'll get there. But no, I mean, I'll stay for sort of the stuff that's goes late, but I'll do that when I don't want to be in first thing in the morning for a morning panel. Like if there isn't a early morning panel that catches my eye, they're like early afternoon ones. Otherwise, I will go home and get a decent amount of sleep. I prefer not being exhausted, and I also like not getting sick. And there's a lot of it's called, what is it? The con flu?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you're around a lot of people, and if you're not taking care of yourself, your immune system is impacted and you get sick. So I don't like germs, and I don't like being sick, and I like people. So it just means taking care of myself and getting the right amount of sleep. So I do that.
Segueing into C4,
Woohoo!
which is the Central Canada Comic Con, which we have already mentioned, is at the same location, Red River Convention Center. It is on October 27th to 29th.
That'd be the RBC Convention Center.
What did I say?
Red River Convention Center.
Wow, sorry. I was looking at the other yarn-related thing. It's been a long day, okay?
The C4 convention is a science fiction fantasy convention. It revolves around TV, film industry. It's a lot. It's the big one. It's the beefy. It covers all the genres of nerddom in my mind, because it does TV, film, books. There's a Magic the Gathering tournament that's held there every year.
I don't think there's anything it doesn't cover.
Heck, they got wrestlers that come in every year. Like, it is a big deal, and there's so much to look at and so much to do. It is a very full weekend, and I am so excited.
We have another event.
We do a yarn-related event.
The Manitoba Fibre Festival will be at the Red River Exhibition Center.
There you go.
September 15th and 16th, which is a Friday and a Saturday.
Which is super cool. You're going to have to see if you can get the Friday off work.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see.
Mm-hmm. If not, we can go on the Saturday.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can also go in the evening on the Friday.
It's true, we could. So, that is strictly yarn and nothing but the yarn. It
Yarn
is
and fiber and
it's a
animals that
fiber.
produce it.
Fibre Festival. And, I mean, legitimately, we could have done a bunch more fibre festivals around Manitoba and Saskatchewan, Alberta. Like, there's a lot.
Nobody wants to drive that much.
There's that. And wasn't a lot of lead-up time for a lot of the stuff for us. We need a bit more planning
And also,
time.
if I may point out again, recovering from surgery.
I was recovering from surgery the first part of this year, so this year has not been a big travel year. Though next year might be a bit of a bigger travel year. At least for me, I can go hit up some of the fibre festivals and stuff and see what it's all about. Because I know there's a bunch that are out there that I'd like to check out and sort of help, again, support the communities and support the people that are putting these on and celebrate the individualism that people bring to each of these events, which is always really exciting. Also, I may have been watching the Grocery Girls recap of the Edmonton Fibre Frolic and going, why wasn't I there buying all that yarn? So there's a little bit of yarn not going purchasing regret. Because I wasn't there to buy all those pretty skeins of yarn. So there's that. And I know their next episode is going to be amazing and is going to be a professional enabling of me spending my money. To which I say to the grocery girls, because clearly they listen to us, yes, please, more. Bring it on. I'd like to see more yarn. I haven't spent nearly enough money on yarn yet. They're how I found that indie cotton dyer out on the East Coast that has that watermelon colorway section, which has got the pink and the green and like the black speckled for the watermelon in the straight up cotton yarn. That both me and my mom love her colorway, so we're gonna order some from her because it's so cool. And they're just so vibrant and bold. It's like, nope, we need to own some of this. And indie cotton yarn, like who dyes indie cotton yarn?
Apparently, this one person.
I'm sure there's other people, but this one person's Canadian, so I'm super excited about that.
Nice. Even again, better.
Not having to pay international shipping. Having said that, there are some amazing dyers in America that I buy yarn from all the time because they're really good and I don't care that much. But it's nice to be able to go, I got this in Canada. It also gives me an excuse to go, hey, let's fly out to the East Coast and look at yarn stores and buy indie dye yarn. I haven't been to Halifax in like 5 years. I'd love to go again. It was a beautiful city. Super game to travel. My own country is fantastic and amazing. I'd like to travel more in my own country.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. It's a thing. But those are our events for the year. Again, barring me finding random extra things to add to the list.
I have that one more event that we were considering.
That's right. We are considering one more event.
We are not committed, but considering some Tour de Fleece, which I looked up the dates for.
Oh, good.
July 1st to 23rd.
Of course it is.
So, spinning for 23 days, also during Icon, right up until I get on a plane and go to more conventions.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing conventions for almost 2 full weeks.
Yes, you are. Have you wrapped your brain around that yet?
I didn't quite realize how long that was.
It's quite a long time. No, I mean, you're going with, it's Scythe on Twitter, is your name?
Straith.
Straith on Twitter. I was close. I'm sorry, love. Feel free to berate me. Justin, how could you not know my Twitter name? No, it's a lot of work, and I don't think you'll be doing spinning, but you could take your knitting with you.
Yeah, well, so long as I spin for 5 minutes in the morning before I get on my afternoon flight.
Yeah, and then just accept that 2-week period you won't be working towards that goal, because it's just that's what it is. Almost 2-week period. 10 days.
The 23rd is the last day of Tour de Fleece.
Okay.
So, so long as I spin for, a minute on the 23rd, I'm fine.
You're fine.
And that's the end of it. So that works out really nicely. Okay, so I will probably, at an amateur, unofficial level, go along with Tour de Fleece.
I'm not sure. If I do it, I will participate officially. I need to talk to Miss D, because I don't actually know how to spin.
Neither do I, but I have a spinning wheel and I'm trying.
It has been on my list of things I want to learn, because I'm very fascinated. And with the Fibre Festival coming up in September, I do have some fleece. Processed roving. I do have some stuff I could spin. And I do want to learn at a drop spindle level or a Turkish spindle level. I want to learn at a hand level for control purposes and seam purposes. So I feel like I really just need to order a spindle, have Misty help me with some of the stuff I don't quite understand from what I've been reading, and spend June spinning the roving I have and get a hold of some roving for July and just figure out if I like it before we go to the Fibre Festival in September, and then that way I know what I'm looking for. Because if I enjoy it but I don't love it as much as I love knitting, then I know to focus my efforts on what I'm looking for in the knitting sections and sort of just eyeball the roving stuff. But if I really sort of take to it, like I did crocheting, I took to crocheting like a duck to water. I've really enjoyed the crocheting this year, and my skill set's increasing quite quickly, that I could pick up roving and go, yes, this is something I am doing, I do enjoy, that is bringing me, excitement into my life. I'm in my 30s, I'm done doing boring things. I have to cover Diana yawning.
Sorry, I don't mean to, not that you're boring, it's just been a very long day.
Alright, events! Nope.
No, we did events.
Book review!
Book review! Let's get the actual book here so I can say the full title. This week we are reviewing Boyfriend Sweaters, 19 designs for him that you'll want to wear, plus 19 techniques that help you knit almost anything, by Bruce Weinstein? Weinstein?
I'm gonna go with Weinstein.
Okay.
We've been apologizing the whole podcast I can't pronounce names, so we're going with Weinstein.
This book retails for $21.99 US and $25.99 Canadian, and was part of Jocelyn's library collection this week.
Library haul month. I usually do the libraries because it's a 3-week rental, so it's about once every month I go to the library and
Right.
put books in. But again, that's something like 6 novels and about a dozen plus patterns or recipe books or books for other things. I read a lot. I should stop apologizing for that. I know it's a Canadian thing to do, but I don't feel like I have to.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Reading's
but
good
actually
for you.
sorry.
Reading is so good for you, though. But yeah, no, I picked it up. Not because I have a boyfriend. Not because I wouldn't knit him a sweater. Because I happen to enjoy comfortable men's sweaters. And I thought, hey, if this has got techniques for shaping and stuff, that would make this man's sweater more female body okay. I could have a super comfy man's sweater that fits me properly.
Yeah.
Hello, that's got some potentials. So, well, technically it is the Boyfriend Sweaters book. I didn't actually look in it for my boyfriend.
That's okay. Half the book seems to be written for
Women.
For the woman that is presumably knitting the sweater.
That's fine.
Which I found mildly interesting because the author is male, but he was obviously writing for assuming that women were doing the knitting. Which was interesting, I thought.
I suppose most of the industry is female.
I guess.
I'd like to see more men knitting, just as I'd like to see more women playing Warhammer. I think there should be like 50-50 everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, any sort of stigma.
So.
That's my thought on that. I think it should be equal everywhere.
Yep.
Pro-feminist for the movement moment over.
Anyway, so what are your overall thoughts on this book?
Buy it.
Okay, that's a quick thought. Do you have any slightly more detailed thoughts?
I do. The layout was wonderful. I liked the technique sections. Like, they went into a nice amount of detail.
Mm-hmm.
They covered each of the sort of different techniques you would run across that you might not know. They did shaping, increasing, decreasing. They did a lot of the stuff that lets you move from easy projects into the intermediate and advanced projects and made it very approachable, made it really easy to go, yes, I could do that. Perhaps with the addition of a YouTube tutorial, depending on how you like to learn. And I liked it was cute that they had little sections. I liked that they covered the curse. Which I thought was very
loved
cute.
the little stories.
The stories were, it's well written and it's not so, you need to know how to do this. It's like, hey, this is how you knit. I enjoy it when they're like, yeah, no, you could do this. If you don't want to do this, you got a couple other options too. And it was presented, so I was reading it, and then I was at the end of the book, and I was like, how did I get here?
Yeah, no, there's solid techniques and the little tip things, and what else did I say? Oh, there's a pattern index in it at the back, which is nice.
That's always nice, yeah.
The photography I thought was really good.
It was a beautiful balance between lifestyle and knitwear shots.
Yeah, so you can actually see what's going on.
Perfect. You can see the knitting, and they can still sell you on the lifestyle you'll have.
Did you heart any of the patterns?
Yes. Yes, I did.
I'm just going to say I didn't heart any of the patterns, but that's possibly because I wouldn't knit any of them for myself, because I don't really go for this kind of a sweater. There are, however, a few things that I thought of for my brother.
Oh, I hadn't thought about Charlie.
Yeah, because I don't think Chris would actually wear any of these, but my brother totally would wear a few of these.
Oh, your brother would look good in so many of these. Immediately my brain went to all the cardigans, because your brother loves the old man cardigan.
Yeah,
and there's
my
some
brother
old
rocks
man
an old man cardigan.
Oh, they would look so good on him. We can teach him to knit himself his old man cardigans.
Well, I have started him on a pair of socks.
So we're already 50% of the way there.
50% of the way in that he's on row 2 of a sock from last year.
That's fine. He's learning. It takes time. It took me a good year and a half to really get the knitting bug. I enjoyed it, but I didn't quite get it till it clicked.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it clicked, super into it. So No, I can, if he takes to it, I think he would really enjoy that. It would be quite nice. I was thinking my grandfather, who also rocks an old man sweater, who also happens to be old. It helps. My grandfather's in his late 70s. I did heart a couple of patterns. I wrote down some of the ones that I liked, I liked the pattern and the structure of. I'm not sure if I'd ever make it, but I do have a tendency to like having that nice sort of slouchy university student study sweater is what it is in my mind.
Oh, it totally is, yeah.
Yeah, and I like having those kinds of sweaters. They go really well with leggings and a pair of, literally 80s, the lower slouchy leggings with the nice fitted, jeggings and stuff, or you wear it with like your knee-high boots, and it's just comfortable. And you can sit and study for hours on end, or work at stuff for hours on end, and it's totally fine. Or chase a 10-year-old around for hours on end, because that is also part of my life.
Yeah, this cover sweater.
The honeycomb sweater?
Yeah, it's growing on me. I wasn't sure about it, but I'm looking at it again after a couple of days, and it's growing on me.
The honeycomb sweater is one of the ones that I liked, that I favorited, that I said I want to make, because I can just see it with leggings, little booties at the coffee shop in the fall, chatting with everybody, and then you can just put on a nice big slouchy shawl at the front if you really wanted or needed the extra warmth, or because you wouldn't, because it's a nice big oversized sweater. And off you go, and you're onto the bus, and you're onto to the library. Oh, am I a cool person? Oh, man.
It's a fantastic library sweater.
Isn't it, though? With my 50 billion books.
Yep.
50 billion. Which was the first one in here that you liked?
That would probably be the shaker cardigan.
Ooh, the shaker cardigan was nice.
Yeah, for my brother, of course.
Well, yeah, no, that's totally fair. I like super segue as I'm flipping through the book. I like how they covered drape and swing in different fabrics for yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them I did not like. I don't always understand men's fashion.
I just don't always understand fashion in general.
That's fair. Men's fashion changes. I worked in men's fashion for a while. It's not as dramatic as women's fashion, but it does change. First one I kind of liked was the oversized turtleneck.
Nice big comfy sweater.
Nice big comfy sweater. I had initially thought perhaps Mr. B.
But would he wear a turtleneck?
I don't know. He's got this thing about neck stuff. But I do know who will wear a turtleneck. My daddy.
Okay.
And my daddy would look good in a nice oversized comfy turtleneck that he could wear out while he's working outside or in and out of the office for him. For listeners who don't know, my dad is a project manager for an engineering firm in Saskatchewan and does a lot of stuff on job sites in northern Saskatchewan and northern Manitoba. So goes to places that are just colder by nature than here.
Yeah, that would be a really good sweater for that.
And I'm thinking that would work well. Will I make it? I don't know. But I kind of like it, so that's not a problem for me. The shaker cardigan was kind of cute. I wouldn't do it if it's not on my list. Oh, there's always so many girls in here. Not sure how I feel about so many female photos.
Yeah, that was something. There was some of them, it's like the boyfriend sweater book, but this particular one or that particular one was only photographed on female models.
Yeah, so it's like, really? I don't...
like the one you're looking at right now is
the camel cabled cardigan. Like, that should be in a girl's sweater book.
Yeah, like I can't... I'm trying to twist my brain to see a man actually in a fitted version of
Immediately I see the slightly frilled collar, and most men are going to say no. Most men that I know. Anyway,
yeah, so,
I might not know men who would say... Well, no, I do know some men who would say yes, but there's not that many of them. So there's some of them I'm just like, no, this should have been in a different book. I could see why, but again, the camel cabled one is, there's no pictures of a man wearing it, there's only pictures of girls wearing it. So it's like, that I'm not super sure on. But no, the shaker cardigan, which is the next one, looks really good. I think for your brother would be amazing.
Yeah, I think he has a sweater very similar to that.
Yeah.
That and the textured argyle cardigan,
Ooh.
which is somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'm in the right section. I didn't heart the linen scarf, but...
I seriously considered hearting the linen scarf, but no.
No? In the end, it wasn't a winner? The textured argyle cardigan?
Yeah, that one.
That, again, yes.
Yeah. Another old man sweater for my brother.
So, your brother and my grandfather. Sorry, Charlie.
He calls them old man sweaters. He's totally cool with this.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, the honeycomb pullover. That was the one I wanted to show. I think that's the cover. Whoopsies, that's the cover one, I think.
I think so, yeah.
And there's several reasons why I like it. One of which being that, I have a tendency to like things. Ooh, the boat neck faux rib pullover. I'm too far back. This was one where I was super segue. I gotta find the honeycomb one. I don't know where it is.
I know which one you're talking about. I really like the, that one.
Yeah.
I really like the texture on that one. I feel like it would be murderous to knit.
Entirely possible it would be murderous to knit.
Next page, I think.
Knit. Yes. The honeycomb pullover. Yes and no. Because it is on the sleeves as well as the body, and it's not it's just like a simple, what do they want to call that, a cowl neck?
I'd even almost call that just a crew neck.
Yeah, I would almost be inclined to say crew neck, yes. Crew neck and a simple, where we got rib on the bottom and rib on the edges for the details on the sleeves. I think once you got into the groove of it, you wouldn't even think about it.
It would probably be fine. It looks like a very short repeat.
Yeah. The first dozen or so rows, it'll be actual thinking, but after that, your brain will pick up the memory pattern and you could just fly.
Yeah. And being a man's sweater, there's no waist shaping or chest shaping. It's a rectangle.
Not really so much. Which is totally fine by me, because heavens knows I was gifted with a big enough set that I don't need shaping to have them show up in sweaters.
I was gonna add something about that.
Sure.
Sizes. Because it's a men's sweater book, there's a reasonable range of sizes.
Why? Why can we not have this in women's fashion? Why are they so restrictive? But these men's sweaters...
go up to like 60-something inches
on
a regular basis.
You look at the charts for the men's sizing, and they're beautiful. You could get all the way from, like, what is it, a 4XL almost? Down to an extra small man. That is a massive size range.
Yeah.
With neck alterations and arm length specifications and torso, like, what? What? Why can girls' books not have this? Why, in an industry that is female dominated, why can we not have this size range as pretty much standard in female books?
I don't know. I do not know. I don't understand
I wish that I could understand.
Well, the fact that they have the women's sizes next to the men's sizes.
Yes.
On the chart, and it's like, okay, so if I were to knit a women's medium, this would be a men's extra small.
Yes.
What the heck?
Yep. Super segue. Anyway, we should talk about the boat neck faux rib pullover.
Mm-hmm.
A, because it is a boat neck. B, because, oh my god, this is that university sweater I was talking about.
Yeah, it looks really just
yeah.
Simple, classic.
You did that
comfy.
With a really nice comfy wool, like a nice super soft wool.
Yeah.
I would almost be willing to buy cashmere.
That'd be a hell of a... That would be
cashmere
a heck
blend.
of a... Yeah.
Cashmere blend. Or something with like a silk content in it. Because then I would walk around petting myself all day, which looks really good.
Yeah,
but
just like, yeah.
even like a super merino. Like a super wash.
Yeah.
Would just be beautiful. Simple construction. There's nothing super fancy about it. But it's that kind of iconic, classic men's casual sweater.
Yeah. It looks like the boyfriend sweater.
Which is perfect. It's the only one, I think one of the two I hearted that I would make one for B if he asked for it. If he doesn't ask for it, obviously I won't make it for him, because why would I do that?
I think that's the only sweater in the book that Chris might wear if I made it.
I could see Mr. B and Chris wearing this sweater. As long as we got them different colors.
Yeah, coordinate and get different colors.
Yes. Because they would wear the same sweater of the same color. They have pants that are the same color, which I pointed out to them.
It's really terrible because if the two of them and their dad are all like facing the sink doing the dishes, and you just sort of glance over there and like not paying attention to hair color,
you don't know
they're
who's
the
who.
same. They're the freaking same.
Yeah, they all wear t-shirts of the same length. They're all like short sleeve shirts. They all wear the same khaki pants, and they're all like the same height.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all tucked in with belts. They're all
or the same fleece sweaters.
Same fleece sweaters. Yeah.
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 Same socks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, except Mr. B occasionally.
He does have some wild and fantastical socks. I do enjoy that about him. But no, You have to pay attention to their hair colors.
Yeah, there's been a couple times where there was a couple of near misses. Like, oh, okay, I'm not going to hug this person from behind because that would be really weird.
Only for them, in my case. Oh, my world is different than theirs, and I love it. All right, so here's this thing they have called the varsity sweater. It is not on my list, not because I wouldn't knit it, but because the specific occasion I would knit it for is so restrictive that I didn't want to put it on the list.
Okay.
But I did want to show it to you, and it is...
Under what circumstances would you need a varsity sweater?
And it is a classic varsity-style sweater with that great big letter in the middle of your chest. And my brain immediately went to Harry Potter's jumpers that Mrs. Weasley knit for the children.
Oh,
and I went,
yes.
in those colors, I would make myself a Harry Potter jumper. And it went on the list as a sweater for Mr. B, because that's right up.
Yeah.
Book description, Mrs. Weasley, Christmas jumpers for
That's
the boys.
amazing. You're right.
Yes. Yep. And I had to show it to Diana because it is that classic jumper varsity sweater, which is totally fine. And it's a good pattern if that's what you like. But my favorite part is they've charted the entire alphabet.
Which is really nice of them.
And they charted it well. Which is fantastic. Like all the way down to Z.
Yep.
They charted the whole alphabet, which is fantastic. So I was super... but again, it was like, would I make that? I couldn't tell you, but if I specifically felt I needed a Mrs. Weasley jumper for the boys, I would do that. But I'd have to do it in the same colors or as close to as I could swing.
Definitely.
Because
that'd be amazing.
I would need your help with color matching because Mr. B is very exacting on details when you're copying from something.
Yeah.
But that, I think, would be a wonderful, wonderful, like, 5th year anniversary present for me to give to him next year.
Yes.
Since our anniversary is in November.
That would be adorable.
I think for the book, it's, if sweaters are sort of your jam, as you will, it's a wonderful addition to your collection. Which really just leaves us with the outro.
All right.
So, Diana, why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
You can find us on Ravelry, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest as Northern Knits Podcast. Our blog with all our show notes is at northernknitspodcast.com. You can also email us at northernknitspodcast@gmail.com.
Woo!
Where can people find you on the internet?
I am on the interwebs as Amber Dragon. If you can find me on Ravelry, there's my face. You can find me everywhere. It is Amber Dragon or by my full name and Jocelyn Douglas. For primary places, I'm usually on and by daily or more so. Can I do the whole list in one breath? Maybe. Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Ravelry. I have 3 blogs. I'm going to start a Ravelry blog about knitting shortly. I'm opening an Etsy store. I'm thinking about doing a Twitch stream. And I have Periscope.
Did you say YouTube?
No, I'm on YouTube too. I completely forgot about YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. I feel so bad.
I, Diana, can be found on Instagram and Twitch as Fire, Water, and Fiber, and on Ravelry as Wool-Rat. I occasionally stream knitting. I actually do stream on occasion on Twitch. It happens sometimes.
We should get into a weekend streaming thing, you and me.
Yeah, could do.
That'd be good. You've got
Just need a time where I'm actually consistently around is my main problem. Oh, we're battling. We should finish and then babble.
Finish then babble.
Finish and then babble.
Well,
what a novel concept.
I don't know about this. So for all the stuff you hear and for all the stuff you don't, until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
Saying no matter where your week takes you,
Don't forget to knit.